Let's go ahead and make this even more interesting by putting another effect on here. We're going to choose lens flare this time. I'm going to add that. We've got both the blur and the flare going on at the same time. To make things a little more clear now, we're going to work with the lens flare. Let's turn off the blur, or just bypass it by clicking on the box there. And you'll notice now that there's two effects involved. We have an additional line on the keyframe controller added, and that will be true for however many effects you add. You'll have a different line on the keyframe controller. And if you want to work on any individual one, you can just click on the header for that effect, and you'll see that the variables pop up for the effect that you're working on. Alright, so we have the lens flare just sitting there, and what I'd like to do is make this appear like this guy is carrying around this sun flare on top of his forklift. So that's going to involve moving that around the frame, and we can do that using this variable here of the position. So as I drag this around, you can see in the preview the cool light show going on there. And we can affect the intensity and all kind of different things. And so notice I've made a keyframe inadvertently by moving things around and making a change during the course of the event here. So I'm going to right click and choose cut. So there's no keyframes. Let's go ahead and click on the very first keyframe and move that flare right on top of the forklift. Now let's just move the cursor down a little. The forklift is starting to move, and of course the flare isn't moving yet. So I'm just going to let it move a little bit and then make an adjustment to follow along, and of course it sets another keyframe. And now I'm going to grab the cursor again, let the forklift move a little more, reposition, and I'll just keep doing this and not let them get too far before I add another keyframe. Oops, got to move this over a little. Okay, so if everything went well, we'll have this guy driving around the forklift with this little solar flare happening right at the top. I'm going to click on the timeline, hit play. And there you go, special effects.